Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, July 28th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. A couple of clarification points real quick. Number one, this price you see over here will still be changing, and this candlestick you see here will be moving around. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time. I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, PGY. I've been doing this one, I think, every day this week and got ourselves yet another breakout. So for those of you that watched yesterday's video, hopefully you remember me talking about that resistance line right there. And you can see this morning, got the break from there, and then a very nice move. Did pull back a little bit, but overall put in higher highs and higher lows. So from a trend building perspective, that's what it's all about. Going to go ahead and get rid of that line. And actually just move this level up as one of the newest areas of support, which sits right there at $18.50. So moving forward, $18.50, the ideal level of support. Ideal meaning, if you're to ask Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest and best moving forward? That would be if the price stays above $18.50. With that being said, if the price does drop below it, not the end of the world or anything like that. You still do have that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So in other words, from a broad scope of things, as long as the price stays above that line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, then the bulls are in full control. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, key level now is just that resistance trend line right there, which is basically kind of a case of deja vu from yesterday's video. But once again, have that trend line right there. But overall, as long as this thing keeps on putting in higher highs and higher lows, that is by far what matters most. Next one, BWV. And I like this because there's a well-defined breakout point, which sits right here at $3.75. And maybe, probably a very big stretch on my part, but sort of like a cup and handle. So you have the cup. I realize that's pulled back a bit too much, but overall, like I said, if it were to work its way back up there and then get the breakup through it, there is no such thing as a guarantee. But my point here is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price can recover back up to 375 and then get the break, that could then lead to more upside buying pressure? That is, while not a guaranteed outcome, that is a plausible and rational outcome to think. So like I said, as of now, yeah, it did pull back. But if it can return back up to that 375 area, certainly very interesting level. As far as levels of support are concerned, has become pretty apparent right now that right down around the 310 mark seems to be a lot of buyers hanging out. I mean, I'm not going to count the number of times, but you get the idea. A whole bunch of times the price is spent right down around that 310 mark and is held strong. So that'll be that main area of support. And again, if it can bounce, then 375 main area of resistance. Next, GOVX, and overall just another bit of a pullback here and consolidation. So from a big picture point of view, the chart still hasn't done anything wrong. I realize it would be great if prices could go up every single day, but that's just not how any market works, whether it's stocks or crypto or anything. Nothing goes straight up. So yeah, pulled back. But what I like about here, just from strictly a pattern perspective, is there is now a very, very well-defined potential, turnaround point right there at 205. I mean, you can see on 4 separate occasions, 1, 2, 3, 4. The price got right up to there and got rejected back down. So again, does that mean there's guarantees? No, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price can recover back up to that area and then get the break up through it, that break could create some upside buying pressure? In my mind, that is a more than plausible, outcome that could happen in that event. As far as those levels of support, as I talked about in the earlier chart, nothing wrong is going on because price remains above that 50-period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, again, as long as the price stays above it, then the overall trend is perfectly fine. But yeah, definitely that red line there, very, very intriguing level to try to place a role in being a leading indicator of maybe a bigger move to come. Next, MARA, and a monster afternoon. Apparently the crypto world liked the news from the Fed. As you can see, did have a nice start to the day with that opening 30 minutes and kind of pulled back and just kind of chopped around. And then the volume came pouring in and the price just absolutely exploded upwards. So now it just becomes a question of, does this thing want to head back up to where it was previously? Current level of resistance going to be this previous area of highs right here, where I think it's right where it got rejected. Maybe not exactly, but close. These highs were right around that 1265 mark. What was the high here? Oh yeah, 1265. So right here, 1265, that key level, which sits, you can see back here, rejected the price, and once again rejected the price. So that'll be that main battleground that a lot of people will be watching. And what may happen is the price maybe goes and kind of chops around like that, which would not be bad at all, because that would then allow something like this, broadly speaking, to form a nice bull flag pattern. So maybe next day or tomorrow on Thursday, if it just consolidates, then as long as it doesn't give up all those gains, then you're probably going to have some sort of form of either bull pennant or a bull flag pattern with that main breakout point, again, being the 1265 mark. But there's no doubt about it. Great movement, huge volume. So let's see if this can continue to keep momentum in the upwards direction over the next couple of days. Next, AMC, and this will mean much more to those of you that watched previous videos, but even if you didn't, I put that trend line into play right there as resistance, and I mean the power of charts. I mean, check it out. Big, huge bounce. Well, I guess first example of the power of charts. Look at that green line I drew. And if you don't believe me that I drew these lines, I'm not offended. I understand I could be a total stranger to you. But hey, all you got to do is go back in the video archive and watch the video that I did, and you'll see that I put these lines into place before doing this one. And you can see right here, example number 1 of the power of charts. Great job of forecasting where that area of support would be, and then it eventually did bounce. But look right where the bounce is now having some problems. Literally right at that red line, which also happens to coincide with that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. So it's basically a double whammy of resistance. But point here being that that's going to be the level that everybody and their brother's uncle is watching from a breakout standpoint. And that's the idea of a watch list, to locate unique and interesting situations. Not just to find something and then rush out and buy it, but to watch it. So for you people that like to play the breakouts, well, then here you go. You have a potential breakout, to come. Now, to be fair, maybe it doesn't break out. Maybe it just rolls back over. But again, that's a two-sided coin because, well, maybe it does break out and then really gets going. So like I said, if you like to play well-defined breakouts, then definitely keep an eye on that trend line right there. Real quick, wanted to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool and why it's powerful and very, very efficient in helping to build consistency as a trader, then certainly get signed up for the free live training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So again, if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about it, then certainly get signed up for the free training. Next, TYDE, and this is one where it could very well be game over, meaning this was just kind of a one-day pop, and now things are going to drift back into oblivion. But as I mentioned earlier, that is a two-sided coin because, well, maybe it's not. Maybe this is just a little temporary pullback before this thing resumes momentum. And as this one demonstrated today, I mean, it can move, and it can move very quickly, as you see based on that opening 30 minutes. So like I said, it's worth at least watching because it's a unique situation, and that's the whole philosophy of a watch list. So as far as key areas to watch from a resistance standpoint, this trend line right there, in my mind, serves as a good potential leading indicator of momentum potentially returning if the price can push up through there. As far as supports are concerned, I would definitely consider these moving averages down here, pink line, 200-period moving average, purple line, 50-period moving average, as a must-hold level. And I'm not saying this will occur, but just to illustrate why they're so important. If the price were to go down to those moving averages and then drop down below it, at that point, you basically have the price having gone right back to where it was. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. But like I said, overall, as far as, locating interesting, unique situations, yeah, let's see if this is just some sort of temporary pause before a bigger move to the upside. And if it's not, and this thing just drifts that back into oblivion, well, then so be it. Next one, TEVA, and an absolutely monster move today, including a late day breakout here. So from that breakout standpoint of right there at, what was that, about $8.93, yeah, that has already happened. So that's kind of, there's nothing to do there. But again, the idea of a watch list is to find those unique situations. And because of that breakout, and quite frankly, a very big breakout, I mean, look at those volume bars have been increasing. This has become a situation where you can throw out the question of, okay, wow, is this the start of something even bigger? And now think about that question. In order for me to even ask that question, something worthwhile had to happen in the first place. Lots of stocks are on the market. You can't even ask that sort of question because nothing, there is no breakout. There is no signs of strength. But those things did occur. Now, to be fair, like I said, maybe it's not. Maybe this is the end and it goes right back down. But again, two-sided coin. Well, what happens if this is the start of something bigger and this thing keeps going and going and going, and then next week at some point, this thing's going to be up at, $12, $13, and everybody's going to say, hey, remember when that thing was down below 10? Again, I'm not saying that'll occur, but my point here is that this was a very, very powerful breakout. So it begs the question, all right, is this breakout just a leading indicator of a much more bigger move to come? So worth at least keeping somewhere on your watch list. Next one here, Tesla, TSLA, very, very nice move today. We reacted nicely this afternoon, and now we're getting up to potentially a very, very interesting area of resistance. Right up here at, let me just make sure I'm getting my numbers right here, let's call it $842, which was a very well-defined level from several days ago. Now, granted, it's still got some room to go, but also it is Tesla. So, going from here up to here in a single day, in my mind, is not really unrealistic or something that could never be accomplished. So 842, right around that area, going to be the main battleground to watch from a resistance standpoint. If there are any sort of pullbacks, then definitely now that purple line, 50-period moving average, sticks out like a sore thumb. I mean, check it out. After the price made the big move up, I mean, did a great job this morning of just hovering right above that level. There was that pullback right there, and oh, surprise, surprise, bounced right off that purple line. So if there are any sort of bigger pullbacks, then 805 is going to be that main area of support. But yeah, no doubt about it. Very impressive move today for Tesla. Next, TQQQ, and this is a leverage ETF where if you believe the NASDAQ is going to keep moving up, this allows you to participate at a much lower price compared to, having to go out there and actually buy QQQ. And like the markets, after the Fed decision, you can see right there, it just absolutely skyrocketed up, which now makes it very interesting because let me add in a bit more context here. You can see that the price is once again, get that old annotation out there, at levels that have not been seen for a while. So I'm going to zoom back in. But right here, which is where the price peaked out last time at 31.50, is certainly within striking distance once again. So the big question out there, especially amongst those pattern players, is, okay, is the price going to go back up there and double top and roll back over? Or is the price going to get some sort of breakout? Both of those are very intriguing situations. And that's why risk management matters, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong. So yeah, that'll be the main dynamic in my mind going forward is what's going to happen? Is some sort of double top pattern going to form and then the price reverses back down? Or is this big surge going to head up here and then just crush through there and keep on grinding and grinding? That all remains to be seen. But either way you look at it, certainly a very interesting situation and one that I think is worth watching, especially if you like to play those NASDAQ stocks. Next one, SHOP, Shopify. Very, very impressive move. You got to give credit where credit's due. Pretty crazy to think that just yesterday the price was hovering down here, knocking on those lows and potentially going down to 30 and below. Now all of a sudden it's all the way up there at 35. So very, very impressive bounce. And if this upwards bounce is going to continue, it has now reached a pretty important level, which sits right here at almost that gap close location, which is at 35.75. So 35.75 again, based on this gap close location, is going to be the key level. And again, both sides of the equation are right. I mean, I can see some people saying, well, I can see it going up there and getting rejected back down, and that could be a resistance and reversal point. Others, I could see saying, well, I think it's going to go up there and again get the breakout through there, and that's going to be a signal of even more momentum to come. Once more, both of those thought processes are right, but that is why risk management matters, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong in regards to that 36 mark. So keep a close eye on that. That'll certainly be a very, very important level moving forward. If there are any sort of pullbacks until then, a key level to watch from a pullback standpoint can be right there around the $34 mark. But yes, again, got to give credit where credit's due. Very impressive bounces underway. Not just a question of can this bounce continue on up? Well, if that's going to be the case, then $36 is public enemy number one. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can be used to build consistency as a trader, then certainly get signed up for the free live training. Like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, July 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, then please communicate that to me by doing two things. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things communicate to me that you enjoy, and as long as I know people are enjoying, then I will continue to do them. And they also help with the YouTube algorithm, and they help spread the word on these videos. And the more people that see, the more it becomes worth my time, and I'd be happy to, keep on doing these. So like I said, little things like hitting that like button, comments really do help out in a multitude of ways. So once more, if you like what you saw here, certainly get signed up for that free training. Hopefully I'll see you there. Everybody take care. Have a good one.